It's scary that so many people miss this.
I infiltrate the Illuminati, get the information, run back to y'all, tell y'all everything I know. White friends, here come y'all's first. For 50 years, y'all been wondering what the happened to JFK. I went in there and watched the VCR tape myself. I can't tell you what I saw, white friends, but I'll show you the part you missed.
It's scary that so many people miss this.
I infiltrate the Illuminati, get the information, run back to y'all. What the happened? VCR tape myself. I can't tell you what I saw, white friends, but I'll show you the part you missed.
It's scary that so many people miss this.
I infiltrate the Illuminati, get the information, run back to y'all, tell y'all everything I know. White friends, here come y'all's first. For 50 years, y'all been wondering what the happened to JFK. I went in there and watched the VCR tape myself. I can't tell you what I saw, white friends, but I'll show you the part you missed.
Kennedy assassination.
And local reporters were behind the haunting images, documenting the shocking this to history.
Out into the world and to the president. That action can be.
It's a tree, but
Is our city, Chicago.
He came.
I'm thinking it was September, from September, and he brought me an experimental camera back. Was it?
Almost. I helped her because you remember.
Any doubt, and I mean beyond any doubt, that the individual buried under the name of Lee Harvey Oswald.
cool book to put.
Down Main Street, where the crowds are thinned almost completely. We turned on Houston Street, where there's really no place for crowds, and they're extremely sparse. And that's when that inmate turned to the president.
I was so pleased, and I turned to the president and I said, Mr. President, you can't say Dallas doesn't love you.
This car is now turning onto Elm Street, and it will be only a matter of minutes before he arrives at the trademark. I was on Simmons Freeway earlier, and even the freeway was jam-packed with spectators.
And I picked my boy up and we ran down across the grassy area so that we could stand on Elm Street. I suppose the president's vehicle was about 50 yards in front of us, something like that. And he came up right below the school book depository and then turned left. As they made the turn to the school book depository, and they'd only come down a few feet, the first shot went off.
We were driving along, and I heard a noise, and I turned around to have a look back and saw the president. His hands flew up to his neck, and he collapsed and made no sound.
And I realized it was no joke that he was shot, and the strain on his face, and right, the car kept coming down, and
his hand. We were driving.
As I made the turn at the school book depository, and it had only come down.
Been said every car tells a story. 5 decades later, Plaza, there is now near silent. Such a vital incident was assassinated. It was brought back to Washington, studied for evidence by the Secret Service and the FBI. It was refurbished with new titanium armor, a permanent top added. It was put back into the presidential fleet, driven until the 1970s. It was codenamed X-100, though Americans only saw it on black and white TV. That Lincoln limo was actually of midnight blue. It's been said President Kennedy did not like the bubble top, and when the rain cleared that fateful Friday, the bubble was removed as the sun emerged in Dallas.
Standing orders from the Kennedy White House where any time the weather would permit it, that roof came off.
What is unclear all these years later is whether that top, which wasn't bulletproof, would have made any difference that day, November 22nd, 1963. And the museum told us late today that Clint Hill, the First Lady's Secret Service agent who jumped out of the car that day, will revisit the limo this week.
Do you remember buying bullets?
Legally prohibited.
Okay, listen.
It's pretty, huh?
Sorry, because it's personal.
There has been no event in the history of America like the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The bullet which struck John F. Kennedy in Dallas ended his life and yet opened a series of questions which remain unanswered to this day. Kennedy was the first American president to master the medium of television. His skill in front of the TV camera gave millions a sense of intimacy with the president and with his family. The best evidence indicates that John F. Kennedy's assassination and the subsequent cover-up was organized by a right-wing conspiracy consisting of anti-Castro Cuban exiles. Organized crime, Texas-based oil and financial interests, and renegade elements of the CIA and FBI. This illegitimate and violent usurpation of power came about in an effort to establish a fundamentally different direction for the country. Its aim, in Jack Ruby's words to Earl Warren, was to bring about, quote, a whole new form of government. In the decade that followed the assassination, new powers in and around the White House unleashed new assaults in the Caribbean and a disastrously expanded war in Vietnam. Domestically, the FBI launches an aggressive and sweeping counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO. In response to these policies, hundreds of thousands of Americans took to the streets. The circumstances surrounding the assassination of John F. Kennedy point to a reordering and redirection of the American political process. The implications of this event remain with us today. The covert creation and supply of Contra armies in Nicaragua, the Iran-Contra affair, CIA shadow governments, the savings and loan crisis, all reveal a process which can only be described as government through damage control.
Let me say first that I accept the nomination of the Democratic Party. I accept it without reservation and with only one obligation. The obligation to devote every effort of my mind and spirit to lead our party back to victory and our nation to greatness. I am grateful too that you have provided us with such a strong platform to stand on and to run on. Pledges which are made so eloquently are made to be kept. The rights of man, the civil and economic rights essential to the human dignity of all men are indeed our goal and are indeed our first principle.
The 1960s presents our country with great opportunities and great challenges. If we're going to successfully move through the 60s, if we're going to be true to our destiny of being the great defender of freedom in these dangerous times, then the United States must build its strength. We are a great country, but I believe that we can be a greater country. We are a powerful country, but I believe we can be a more powerful country.
The election of John F. Kennedy marks the end of the first phase in the Cold War. In setting a new course, Kennedy runs head-on into the powerful and often dangerous alliances that were part of America's Cold War legacy.
Castro marks the second anniversary of his revolution with the biggest military parade ever staged in Cuba, featuring tanks and other heavy weapons from Russia and Red Czechoslovakia. Shortly afterwards, Castro demanded the United States Embassy drastically reduce its staff to 11 persons. It was the last straw in his long campaign of provocation and harassment. President Eisenhower broke off diplomatic relations with a message read by Press Secretary Haggerty.
There is a limit to what the United States in self-respect can endure. That limit has now been reached. Our friendship for the Cuban people is not affected. It is my hope and my conviction that in the not-too-distant future, it will be possible for the historic friendship between us once again to find reflection in normal relations of every sort. Meanwhile, our sympathy goes out to the people of Cuba, now suffering under the yoke of a dictator.
Kennedy enters the White House in the midst of plans for the invasion of Cuba. Secretary of State John Foster Dulles had set a basic anti-Castro policy, which was to be overseen by Allen Dulles and the CIA, and then Vice President Richard Milhouse Nixon.
Kennedy only thought about getting elected, as to say he's the definition of the opportunist. He comes into office in early 1960, having made more militant speeches against Castro and communism in Cuba even than Richard Nixon had. I think not because he had a spiritual passion against Castro or even against communism as such, but because this calculus of the relativity of forces to persuade that's not an easy to do. These were visions that would be produced. We started matchups you're going to see all season long. Two stars colliding here. Welcome to Norfolk, Virginia, and SB Ballard Stadium, the home field of the Old Dominion Monarchs. As we'll see the number 7 team in the country, LSU Tigers, taking on last year's national champions, the Old Dominion Monarchs. For EA Sports College Football, Chris Fowler, joined as always by Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk, let's get right into the action. The Monarchs will kick this away to start us off. Cuba's beaches, an invasion force of anti-Castro Cubans with the backing of the U.S. Navy.
Kennedy represents the fundamental liberal dilemma.
So the LSU Tigers offense comes onto the field for the first time today. And all eyes, Kirk, in this matchup of elite wide receivers. They got great skill, they got big personalities. You know they want to outdo each other in the showdown today.
Well, it's a showcase opportunity for both of these two wide receivers. A lot of eyes on them, not only in college football, but I don't know the last time, Chris, we were on the field pregame and saw so many NFL personnel evaluating these two to see who ends up stepping up and playing better.
Offense moving to a bunch formation.
Today, I'm going with that future.
First play looking to throw it. Pressure is coming. Tries to avoid the rush and just gets rid of it. Early in the season, I think you can sense both these teams realize there's a lot to play for, a lot at stake for their seasons, and they're just kind of settling into this game.
Well, just look at the atmosphere today. It's almost playoff-like out there. Both these teams understand what a win could do for them, and the intensity is jacked up out on the field.
So 2nd and 10 from the 25. Get something here to avoid that tough 3rd and 1 situation.
And now sets this somebody on.
He'll just throw it away to avoid the sack.
Cuba is the key to U.S. strategic control of the Caribbean. The U.S. has a long history of intervention in Cuban affairs dating back to the 19th century. Astoundingly, in the immediate post-war period, organized crime, although under attack in the continental United States, becomes an agent of American policy and interest in Cuba. All of this is accomplished through intensive investment in the Cuban economy and through a system of bribery overseen by the dictatorship of the...
After a short return, but the pick sets up his offense.
When have you seen any leader? This situation just exposes something that we all know. We just brush it under the rug. We overlook it. We pretend like it ain't there.
And the ball is handed off out of the shotgun.
Nice job here controlling the line of scrimmage by this offensive line. The back does what he needs to do to get positive yards on the first down.
Let me tell you something.
2nd down
if
after
Carmelo was Carmelo and
using the ground,
I guarantee when they started sentencing them two parents would not have gotten up.
Are just a certain breed. They're always going to do their job, no matter who's back there carrying the ball. I'll tell you what, they have a little bit more confidence when the person that's carrying the ball can break off some big-time runs. It makes them block.
Here he goes. And he finally steps out of bounds after a huge gain. It'll be 1st down and goal.
One way to create a rhythm and really start to show your identity as an offense is to control the line of scrimmage.
Malcolm D said, hey, you think you was a fan of what D was rapping about?
Touchdown.
In fact,
yes, we get so caught up in this era of the spread, of throwing the football, and the quarterback and the receivers. This is a great example of the value of having a running back that
and
has
before y'all even try to say something, don't act like you don't know parents is jealous of their kids' success. Could you imagine working hard and doing shit the right way and following the rules, and then your son is a drug dealer and he go to jail and all types of shit, and then boom, before you know it, all of a sudden he's rich, he's making money now.
We'll see if this quarterback can shake off the interception he threw in the last possession. Look him out throwing here to start the drive.
The pocket breaking down. Not the accuracy we expect from this senior quarterback. He threw it
Did what he wanted to do.
Well, this quarterback and his
It
receivers
ends up falling ass
on the
backwards
same
into some
page.
money.
They've got to find a rhythm if they want to move the ball down the field.
Quarterback looking to throw it on second down. This pass is on target, caught. Tackled quickly after the catch. He'll be short of the marker.
Any good offense has to have a reliable, quick to intermediate passing game. Even though that wasn't enough for the first down, it's plays like this that help you sustain drives and not get stuck with third down and long.
Did they walk out?
It's third down. Quarterback in the shotgun.
No.
Caught by the receiver.
No.
They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time.
They was not there.
And you just continue to see the chemistry between these two.
They
And they told us yesterday in our production meeting, they spent hours and hours of working and developing that chemistry and that rhythm by throwing together throughout those summer months. And, man, it's starting to really pay off. He's become his security blanket for the quarterback, and especially on third down, get him the ball.
Thrown quickly caught in the right flat. They make the tackle, but that's an excellent gain. Moves the ball to the 33.
Great play call by the offensive coordinator. Outstanding job of executing by the quarterback. With the defense trying to stop the run, the quarterback felt that, made a nice throw to the receiver. Look at this result. It's positive yards.
Makes the defender miss. And they tackle him, but a solid gain down to around the 5-yard line.
Well, that's what you love to see from an offense. The offensive line and the running back in sync, working together, and it pays off. What a big gain. Thought he might be close to being able to take it all the way to the end zone, but the defense just brings him down there inside the 5.
They left soon as the
So 2 big plays in a row. The defense is reeling here. Now it's 1st and goal. Quarterback pulls the ball. It's a keeper. No stopping him on that run. Touchdown,
let me go to play. Let me go to Claudia.
Chris, I don't care what era we're talking about in college football.
Is
Getting
it
the
true
option when it's really well
that
executed, one of the toughest things that defense can do, and this quarterback deserves a lot of credit. A great feel of when to pull it and when to give it. This time he keeps it himself for the touchdown.
The courthouse during the sentencing and didn't even hear the victim impact statement.
Old Dominion's offense retakes the field. They punch it into the end zone the last time. Let's see if this defense has made some adjustments to stop them this time. Solid gain, moves the ball to the 43.
Setting the tone early with good runs like this can really wear defense down and keep the defense guessing. That's why some of the best coaches of all time have primarily done it with great run games.
They feed the fullback this time. Inside the 45. And he runs out of bounds. That's a big gainer there.
Watching this guy run makes me think of a famous old coach who said, any player on my team, I want him to be agile, mobile, and definitely...
Is it true that Carmelo Anthony's
tackled behind the line? It's a loss of 2.
And didn't even hear
the defense was locked in on that play. They
yes.
were not surprised at all
that
that the fullback got the ball. He had
outlets
nowhere to go. They stuffed that play from the beginning.
Parents were not in the room for the sentencing or the victim statement. CBS
quarterback wants to throw it on second down.
Noted.
On the way here. Let's it go.
As defended,
ball carrier tackled there. The Monarchs come to the line in the hurry up.
Anthony's parents were not in the court.
Drops back, needing a third down
completion. But they did show up.
Makes a quick catch.
His mother, Kayla Hayes, took the stand during the punishment phase.
So no hesitation by the coach. The offense is out there to go for it here.
For mercy before he was sentenced. Saying, please have mercy on my son.
Makes the catch, and that is enough for a first down.
So the sequence is what matters.
Old Dominion.
Chris, not shocked at all that they threw this football to this receiver, especially on fourth down. They needed a play. He delivers, but instead of doing it downfield, he shows them what he can do after the catch to get it into the end zone.
They got up and walked. I think his grandmother stayed.
I think his grandmother stayed in. Oh, that was the other part, too. That was the other part, too. It says, so the sequence is what matters for your anger. The mother spoke her piece asking for leniency. And then the son, and then once the 35-year sentence came down and it was time to sit and face what the Metcalf family had to say, parents were gone. They were not present to hear Hunter Metcalf, Austin's twin brother, read his victim impact statement, telling Anthony,
line getting set up. It's a first down play.
Pain caused me and my family. They weren't there.
From the shotgun, here's an inside give.
Megan was telling him he was lucky to get 35 years because she'd been given a life sentence without her son. They weren't there for the father, Jeff.
Quarterback lost track of the play clock.
One nuance worth holding so you don't overstate. This is trying to tell me how to break it down for the show. But here's the reality. This is sad. This is what's sad about this whole thing.
Off the play fake, looking to throw. And it's across the middle. And the defense wraps him up.
Nice play action call here by this offensive coordinator. You know, you can freeze those linebackers just for a split second. Usually that's going to give you enough room to be able to get that tight end behind them. And if the quarterback can make a nice tight throw like this, pick up some big yards.
Going absolutely nowhere. That'll be a loss on the play. Offense gets set up here. It's third down. Out of the shotgun, he hands it off. And this one goes nowhere. Looking to get back to the line of scrimmage.
In that moment.
Chris, that play just didn't have much of a chance at all from the snap. The quarterback hands this off and just nowhere to go. It's almost like the defense was anticipating the play call, and they put themselves in a position to come up with a nice tackle for a loss.
They'll kick it away here. The punt bounces and goes out of bounds right near the 10-yard line. And the Monarchs offense is back out on the field now. Great possession last time. They punched it into the end zone. Can the defense come up with a stop this time? And the drive will begin backed up at their own 10-yard line. And looking to throw now on first down. It's incomplete. It was hit as he threw. Good pass rush there on first down.
Should have stayed there with
Anytime a quarterback's able to recognize a free rusher like that, that's what the check down is for. He has to recognize the protection issues quickly and pivot.
It's a quick grab. It's a nice gain. They move the football up to the 27.
Defense kind of lost a running back here. Makes a nice catch, gets the first down in the process.
Goes back
the offense with three tight ends now on first down, trying to create a mismatch.
Which is the most important thing.
Offense will keep it on the ground here. The gain is 3 yards, brings up a second down and 7. And the Monarchs will hustle to the line to run the hurry-up offense.
Well, not much of a gain there, but this is what they do. They love to go fast. The defense has got to be aware.
Why is nobody talking about it?
Toss it to the back, running left. That gain is good enough for a first down. Ball spotted at the 42. The Monarchs are moving quickly down the field.
What a big game by this offense. They're now going to kick to that up-tempo. Kind of sense that the defense is a bit on their heels, confused, looking to the sidelines. A great time to go hurry up.
Using the clear down the right side, end zone ahead. It's a long-distance
Well, this is what this running back brings to the table for this offense. He's always one touch away from a huge play, and here he gets the ball, gets some space, and from there, no one's going to catch him on his way to the end zone.
Shout out to Kendra. Kendra said, Vino roll Shout out to Hannibal. He said it's been a while since I caught a live AM, but I have been enjoying the replays. Good, appreciate you,
It's a lot better than we usually do, but ready guys.
Appreciate you, Hannibal. Let's see who else we got on the Bino roll call. Shout out to Mama said, I don't have extra money often, but when I do, I like to support you because you have common sense. I'm so tired of all the division. I love the songs you play before you start. Miss music like this. You and me both.
Here's the first play of the drive now from that 20-yard line.
Shout out to 3-Man Podcast.
They'll run it here.
Appreciate you.
Tackle made after a solid game. They'll spot the ball at the 34.
Chris, I know we think about LSU, go back to 2019, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, that dynamic offense. But at the end of the day, it's still LSU. It's still the SEC. And ground and pound is something they will never move away from. Great job here. Move the sticks.
Quick throw out left, complete. To get him down quickly, not much of a gain on that completion. Offense coming to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before we reach the end of the quarter.
Gen X analysis.
For the pass here on second down.
For immature female.
Defense makes the stop very close to a first down. And some big plays through the air.
So now that we've gotten past
so far, these receivers have shown
pull
up
this
today.
video. So, going back to what I said, y'all were here.
We'll see if this game gets out of hand before halftime. The crucial second quarter beginning right now.
And they raised all of this money. And then the rumors started coming out about them moving into a $900,000 house and buying an Escalade. All of these rumors
big play here after the break. Offense trying to convert here on third down.
I was like, yo, this seemed like a hustle. It seemed like they doing some extra.
He's going to lose
right?
ground.
And then on top of that, a couple of days ago, I did live
special teams on the field now. Here comes a
and
punt.
the title of the live
He'll kick it away now for the second time.
Back over. Let me see if I can find the
and the coverage team gets the returner to the ground.
let me see if I can find the image.
And the Old Dominion
See if I
offense
can
is
find
back out on the
it.
field now. In the last possession, the defense just had no answer for this powerful ground game. Let's see what they can do this time.
So this was one of them. This was one that I did.
So the offense calls a timeout here. That's their first of the half.
And in this video, I talked about the money. I talked about the money. I talked about how, in fact, there was one other video, if I remember correctly.
Out of the shotgun, you'll hear
where I talked about
they bring him down, but the drive has now reached the 35.
our culture.
Boy, another nice game by this
Has gotten
He's
to
had a
the
beautiful day today, running the football, just kind of in that zone.
fact, this
and a
is
big
the one
reason
right
why
here.
they have
This
a
is
nice
the one
lead
right
today.
Big guys up front lined up. It's first
This
down.
is the one right here.
Off the play fake, looking to throw.
That's the one right there. They raised $630,000.
Hey, they get some positive yards here, but just from sitting up here looking down, Chris,
And in that
have
video,
a sense that
I
they wanted a
talked
little
about
bit more on that play.
you have these. Look, I'll tell you right now. So you people that keep coming in here trying to troll, you're just gonna get.
And he drops back.
You're just gonna get that.
He escapes the pocket. On the run here, lets it go.
Because really, to be truthful,
This one caught. He has first down yardage at the 47.
It's really pathetic that when you see some
just gotta love this offense picking up so many first downs.
You got to jump in the chat room and say a bunch of
Man, when I played, I used to have defensive guys come down and tell me when we'd have a long drive how much it would allow them to rest and go out and play dominant football.
Going back.
Now the handoff. Picks up 2, so it's 2nd and 8.
Love this early in the game by this defense, taking control of the line of scrimmage, not giving this back anywhere to go, and they keep him short of the first down.
Black people, black communities,
Offense getting set.
Family.
2nd down play here.
Property off of the bodies of black people.
The back in motion
Profiting
now.
off of them being YN or getting
Takes the handoff again.
That's
a solid game. Moves the ball into enemy territory. First down.
This
now
seems
40.
like a new hustle.
Hey, whether it's been on the inside or bouncing things to the outside, this guy has shown you everything that he has to offer, and a big part of the reason why they're enjoying this nice lead.
Keep it on the ground. There's a handoff. Slams right into the wall. They've got him for a
This was a
loss.
few days ago.
This defense just hasn't had many answers for this running back. Guy's already over 100 yards on the afternoon, but give him credit there. They made a nice play in the backfield.
Yeah, the reason why
Receiver brought
getting
down
up the
after a short pitch and catch.
I said I love being
Chris,
right.
I love the versatility of this running back. We're seeing what he can do on full display on this drive. He's been running the football very well. This time they get him the ball out of the backfield, catching it, and he gets another positive gain.
Moves out of the pocket. Trying to create here on the move. The catch made in space. Look out. They finally tackle him after a huge chunk play. Moves the ball to the 12.
What a pitch and catch by the quarterback and receiver for a big gain for this offense.
And the Monarchs begin a new series here, 1st and 10. He hands it off from the gun. And tests the middle and gets stuffed. That is just not open for business today. Coming to the line on 2nd down. This is important. They want to avoid a 3rd and long. They'll hand it off. Coming up the middle, but stuffed for no gain.
Maybe this stop is an indicator of what's to come for this defense. The offense, frankly, has been able to enforce their will in the first half, but maybe things are starting to change.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Can't hold on. Good defensive play brings up a 4th down.
It's an incompletion, but it's a nice job by the quarterback. I know it didn't pan out, but the most important thing is he didn't turn the football over and he didn't take a sack. It'll give your kicker a chance to put some points on the board if they opt for the field goal here on 4th down.
So he switched up and went all in on some, I'm going to help them. I'm going to do what I got to do.
Completion here on 4th down.
And then this video.
Looking to the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone.
Well, they're rewarded for going to this nickel package, getting more awareness on the field with that 5th defensive back, and a nice job of coming up with this interception.
Okay, so here comes the LSU offense back on the field. They were forced to punt it away last time, so let's see if they can get clicking in this possession. Quick throw test in the middle. Makes the catch downfield. Oh, and he's in the air down the left side. Can they catch him? And he takes it all the way. They couldn't stop him. Touchdown, Tigers.
I'm not getting in bed with Benjamin Crump. I'm not getting in bed with Dominic Alexander. And I'm not playing for money to pay people bills. This money is going on the
So they begin the drive here in the final 3 minutes of the half. Trying to flex the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. The first down and still motoring. They finally get him down, but a big play to the 46. They trust the left side of that offensive line and come up with a huge play on the ground.
Yeah, your favorite, Chris, there. The old pin and pull there to the left side. Great blocking on the left side, able to create a great push. Nice crease, and the back found that with the vision and picks up some big yards for that first down.
On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Fires it on the move. Catch made on the right side. That's a big gain. They bring him down, but a big chunk of yardage on the play.
The defense is spread all over the field, creating some one-on-one matchups, and the quarterback makes them pay for it.
some books to read. I got the money. Let's start to work on the field. Anything else don't make sense, nigga. Fuck around with you. And I'm telling you, nigga, say, everybody believe you playing for the money, nigga. And I'm starting to believe you use
We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We'll see
you
if the
gonna
offense
get the
can
money,
build
but
on
then
this lead before the break.
disassociate yourself from me, nigga. I'm here for that boy. I'm here for your son, nigga. And if this money don't go directly to your son's bill, you don't get the money back. But right.
The Monarchs looking to cash in this red zone trip. First down. We're going to throw the football. Looks to the left, and it's complete. Touchdown, Old Dominion. Great catch and run for 6.
Just when we thought this game might be slipping away, these guys come right back down the field with a quick strike and a touchdown, and it's back to being a close game.
These the type of dumbass niggas I be talking about. Read that, y'all. Read that. I am that somebody said Charleston White going to the highest bidder. What do you mean the highest bidder? He was the one raising the damn money. He was the one raising the damn money. Then he said, trying to play both sides. Play both sides of what? Dumbass nigga. Play both sides of what?
On 1st and 10, they'll look to throw it.
Oh, I know. Charleston White coming out telling this shit, exposing shit he already knew. And butthurt about it because it don't fit your fucking narrative. Right? This is what I mean. This is the level of stupidity that we dealing with. In fact, it's not even stupidity. It's willful ignorance. It's willful ignorance. Now, what did I say when this first happened?
Drops back from the shotgun,
and they was giving the press conference. And the father wasn't saying shit.
And pays for it. After a short return, he's
what did I say?
18. What an enormous takeaway by this defense.
Didn't I say, how many of y'all remember?
And here comes that LSU offense back on
how many of y'all remember?
Well, it's been an entertaining first half. Not much time remaining to cut into this lead. And that pass falls incomplete.
I'm not sure the quarterback makes the right decision on this one. I think if he'd do it over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision. That one's incomplete.
2nd down after the incompletion.
What's that? Let me know.
Go hand it off. Fights off a defender.
Well, I thought he might shake free there. He's able to break one tackle, but give credit to the secondary. Good job of coming up in run support.
They come to the line, a long way to go for the first down, but needing this crucial conversion right now.
Yeah, we'll get the same move. No, here's the thing. This is not, that's not what's set. That's not what's set. I'm going to tell you what's set.
What a fantastic half we've had here. You talk about a last-minute lead change through the air, and we can only hope the second half's going to be as exciting as this has been.
And the extra point was up and good. And with that extra point, we're all tied up now in the second quarter. So the offense gets momentum scoring before halftime. Now the kickoff, we'll see if the defense can get us top and preserve that momentum. He'll return it from inside the 10-yard line. Tackled at the 22. Good job on the coverage team. Old Dominion's offense retakes the field. Offense out for the first play of the drive, beginning at the 22. This drive is important. Last one and an interception. Let's see if they can get it going here. The receiver makes the catch. The offense will call a timeout. That's their 2nd of the half.
Love the timing here between the quarterback and his receiver. Pick up some positive yards, and I continue to be impressed with just the chemistry between these two.
Look to throw it here on 2nd down. Scrambling, now he'll make the throw. It's going to be incomplete. Defense had a great chance for the pick. Couldn't come up with it.
Well, in case you're counting at home, That was nearly his third interception of the game. That offensive staff has either got to give this quarterback some easy passes to build his confidence up, or they need to make a change and bring the other guy in. He's just reckless out there so far today.
Now the offense will spend a timeout here, wanting to come up with the perfect call on this important play coming up. 4th down and 2 in their own territory. Coach shows no hesitation. The offense is on the field. Looks with the running back, but he's got work to do. And the Monarchs pick up enough to get a first down there. This will likely be the last play of the half. Quarterback making adjustments now to what the defense is showing. Miller's going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it down to Kevin Connors with our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A memorable first half of football so far today in Norfolk. And it's clear the aerial attacks of both teams have been relentless. They've been burning each of these secondaries like toast. Just an assault on the defensive game plans, if there even were defensive game plans. Gotta think, fellas, based on the first 2 quarters, we're going to see every route in the route tree again in this second half. Either way, it's time to find out. Back to the best in the biz for the start of this third quarter.
Yeah, it's kind of like a system. I really liked her a lot. From law school, she was attending California State University, second year. But she was hurt, according to some, was that Michelle was,
all right, Kevin, thank you for the update.
Self-admittedly, and she loved one, and she went out and had another young lady that loved football, and so she found out.
And they'll kick it away now to get this third quarter underway.
I was driving in the front of a lot of girls there. I noticed something that I had never seen.
And he takes this from inside the 5.
But
he stopped at the 19. Good job on the cover C.
That were in the place.
And the Monarchs offense is back out on the field now. They're looking for some points to jump on top here as we get the third quarter going.
Now again, I don't know, but I noticed that if I got by
shifting around now.
That the left lady
on first down is 13 personnel. This could create some problems for a defense.
And they would kind of look at me in a very disparaging
first play of the second half. They keep it on the ground. As the first down and more, they bring it down, but the drive has now reached the 35.
Just what a great battle here at the line of scrimmage. Good push by the offensive line, and the back was enough to be able to pick up the first down.
First down, we're going to throw the ball. On the move now. Gets rid of it on the move. The ball is caught, and he'll be brought down. The Monarchs come to the line to run the hurry up.
I mean, I want to say flips. A lot of people get that mixed up.
Okay, help you out.
Second down, we're going to throw it. Looks left and finds his target there. The stop made at the 45, but enough for a first down. And the Monarchs come to the line for a fresh set of downs.
Women that are gay, they're straight. And then once she deals with them, that they go back to being straight. That was interesting, wasn't it? But wait a minute.
Looking to throw it on first down. Looking to scramble. On the run, he'll let it go. And it's incomplete that time, just out of reach of the receiver.
Oh, man, I really like the route here by this wide receiver. Does a nice job of separating, creates some space there. The quarterback, unfortunately, just puts that ball too far out in front of him.
Quarterback making some changes at the line. Breaks free. First down and more. He's still running. Ball carrier steps out, but a solid gain on the ground that time.
That's a football play right there, Chris. This one takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get the ball into your back's hands. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. How about the wide receivers? They're doing a nice job blocking downfield. Almost felt like half the offense was out in front of him, giving him a chance to pick up some big yards.
Take it now, but not before he makes the first down.
That is 2 consecutive runs for first downs. Give credit to the offensive line in this back, really getting into a rhythm, and they got this defense on its heels.
First and 10 play coming up.
They don't want to even do all this. Y'all have high expectations for them.
They're going to run it here. That's a nice wrap up there by the Jr.
In the era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense is countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example. The defense has the ability to play wide, but still be solid at the line of scrimmage, not give up big run plays.
Receiver makes the catch. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play.
You know, we talked this week with the offensive coordinator about what makes this receiver so special. He kept referring to his route running. Here's an example of that. Great route, enough separation to give the quarterback a nice lane to throw the football.
The Monarchs looking to take advantage of this red zone trip.
Every time I talk to the coach,
Snapping it from the red zone now, looking to throw. Pitch made on the left side. Somebody hits it out of bounds after a really nice game there.
Well, this is what coaches love to see. A quarterback with the ability to read his defense properly and then just get into the open man. Sometimes it sounds simple, but it's tough to execute. This time we have good recognition by the quarterback. Then he gets it down to the tight end. You can see what he can do after the catch.
And the Monarchs line it up with first and goal.
Unexpected arrest is at the beginning of this story. But quickly rewind back.
On the ground, trying to power toward the goal line. Zero running room. Stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, it is tough to run the football inside this 5-yard line. Give all the credit to that defensive line. Eating up those linemen, allowing the rest of the defense to fly the football for that short loss.
When they tried them little, but stuck for no gains.
What a great play by the defense here. Getting close to the goal line, not only do they come up with a big stop, but they send them backwards in the process.
They'll run here on third and goal. Nowhere to run, but corralled for no gain.
Tell you what, for a tired defense that's been out on that field for a long time on this drive, what a stop there on third and goal. It brings us to fourth and goal. And as a head coach on the offensive side, what he put together, touchdown, Monarchs. They battled all the way down to take the lead. That's a quarterback who's willing his team to find a way to win. Fourth and goal, everything covered, and instead of trying to squeeze it in, he trusts his legs to get it into the end zone, and it pays off.
However, what immediately struck the detectives as unusual was the condition of his body. It appeared to have been there for several hours, contradicting Bonita's account of events. At the moment, the only potential suspect in the room was Bonita. In an attempt to understand what truly led to Kieran's tragic death, Bonita is taken into custody and escorted to the station for questioning.
Shotgun formation. Here's an inside give. Stout defense there. It's a 3-yard loss on that run. And they don't block the defensive end, who shows some quickness getting around the edge that time.
Yeah, this guy's usually getting around the edge to put pressure on the quarterback, but he reminds everybody here that this guy's a complete package. Not only can he pressure the quarterback, but also he is very, very talented and shows you the physicality he has against the run as well.
So the offense getting set. This is not where you want to be against this defense. Third and long. Out of the gun now on third down. But they don't connect. It's incomplete, and it brings them fourth down. One team making their way on the field. He's on to boot it away now.
So I want to talk to you about it. Okay. But before I do that, I have to read your rights. That does not mean that you're in trouble. Okay, it's just awesome. Alright? So you have read your rights.
Back out on the field now. It really had the defense off balance in the last possession.
You get 4-1. We put it to you. You can use those rights.
So first play of the drive, they'll start at their own 49. They'll run it to the left.
It's just part of the
He's past the mark and still going. And he steps out of bounds, but a solid gain there on the ground.
A good push up front here in this back. I tell you, he's got some outstanding vision to be able to find those creases, to be able to get positive yards, and here he gets the first down.
Here comes a first down pass attempt. Pass rush closing in. Catch made on the right side. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play. Made the catch, but he was surrounded. Not much room to run.
They did a really good job that time of leveraging him out in space. I thought he might have a chance to be able to shake loose because he is so elusive. But defense, as you said, did a really good job in the open field surrounding him. Just nowhere for him to go to pick up any more positive yards.
And as we take a break, take a quick look at how the national rankings stack up in the chase for those playoff positions.
Was he there?
Yes, he was already.
Does he have a key?
I dropped the key off.
Okay.
So I dropped the
1
spring.
quarter to go. Let's see if this sets up as a classic finish.
We have to have words because it went from his stuff being where it was to his stuff being in the suitcase.
Offense getting set for a second down here to begin the quarter.
And then the police got lost. So when I'm trying to come down,
They'll run it out of the shotgun. For first down yardage.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. You got to rely on that offensive line in the running game here to be able to secure a victory. Good call, and just keep working that clock.
The Monarchs trying first and 10 here. For the shotgun and inside handoff. They'll get the first 10 yards before they finally bring him down.
Boy, is this guy fun to watch or what? Here we are in the fourth quarter, critical down in distances, and this guy is just churning out yards the way he has most of this game, showing a lot of physicality and natural running instincts in space.
That's a nice tackle there by the senior.
So you pretty much
coming to the line on second down. This is important. They want to avoid a third and long. They try the ground game here with the running back. And the defense smothers him for no gain. Offense facing a third down now. They can still get a first down without scoring. Tailback takes the handoff again. Touchdown, Old Dominion. Still no answer for this offense. That's a crucial touchdown for the offense padding its lead now here in the second half.
Yeah, you get into this second half, you start to count possessions and how big your lead is. Now that you're up 2 possessions, you can start to play really smart football, not just on offense, but on defense as well.
Yeah, I think
it's called my business.
that's more bad.
And stuff like that, it's just like, okay, I want to defend myself. That's what it's going to be. But I remember him getting first aid kits and like, they, just bandage yourself up, bleed everywhere, this is that. And I went upstairs and I went to bed.
So Keaton actually got you.
Supposedly, like.
Do you remember that?
I remember him going, and grabbing the knife. I remember that.
And that Bayou Bengals offense is back out on the field. They're coming off a quick 3 and out, so looking to put something together on this drive with a little more urgency. Pass complete on the crosser, and they keep the drive going into first down to the 46. A new set of downs after that completion. DB's looking to jam the receivers at the snap. Quarterback will throw it off the one pass option. And he busts loose right down the middle. It's a foot race. All the way to the end zone. They couldn't catch him. Touchdown, LSU.
Chris, how about that? A quick slant that goes for this many yards and a touchdown? That's what's so dangerous about this quarterback and wide receiver. Quarterback puts the ball right on the money, and by doing so, look at the receiver. Catches it in stride and has all that room to run after the catch for that touchdown.
That expose a complex web.
Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away.
Make sure
Return starts from inside the 5. He tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. Old Dominion's offense retakes the field. This game just got tighter. Temptation might be to sit on that lead, but we'll see how aggressive they get. They go with the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. Solid gain there. Moves the ball out to the 32.
Boy, this guy just keeps playing good football. He's like a ball out there. Gets low pad support, running over top of defenders, just a gritty runner, and a big part of the reason they're enjoying this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Pounding away with the run game. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
But there's something we haven't seen much in this game at all. That ball carrier being tackled near the line of scrimmage. Maybe if this defense can make more plays like that in the second half, their team will be able to chip away at this lead.
Signs a good throw. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play. And now it's the defense that calls timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible. Fresh set of downs for the offense after that first down completion. Here's the handoff. They'll stop him after a 6-yard gain, so 2nd and 4. And now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. Offense getting set. It's 2nd down. They're going to run. Brought down, but it's past the line to gain. And now it's the defense that calls timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible. The offense with 3 tight ends now and first down, trying to create a mismatch. Handoff heading left. Stopped right there at the line. No gain.
Now you see this with a lot of backs. There's a tendency to want to try to bounce it to the outside. Now sometimes the play calls for it, but you know the coaches are telling them to follow the blockers and execute the plan.
He escapes the pocket. Got some time, now lets it go. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. So the clock stops as we head into the final 2 minutes of play here. This defense needing to step up and make a play now. Here we go, 3rd and short in the 7th play of this drive. And they'll keep it on the ground. Running back has the handoff. Takes up about 3 yards there, but it's going to be 4th down.
Now they run the football here. I thought he might have enough room to be able to extend to get across that first down mark, but he's going to be a couple yards short. Good job by the defense at having awareness of space there and knew exactly what they needed to do to bring him down.
They've been very efficient. 3 for 4 on 4th down. Now they're going for it again. From the pocket, delivers over the middle. They bring him down, but that is a crucial first down. They could just run out the clock in victory formation now. And the Monarchs line up on 1st and 10 now. Handoff here from the shotgun. He picks up 9, so just short of the first down, 2nd and 1. The offense will take their first time out of the half to talk strategy here.
What a gain here. Almost picked up a first down on a first down play. Good job here late in the game of playing hard, dominating football by the offense.
The backs got it. They finally stopped him. That gain is good for a 1st and goal. And the offense will now quickly spend a timeout. This is a performance, Kirk, in a big showdown game late in the season. Tough competition to show what you're about. And they've made the clutch plays, and they got to be considered a serious contender going forward now.
Yeah, we've said this really all year. Obviously, it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. And these guys have been on a mission since day one. And they're going to be a real problem in the next few weeks as we get the playoff off the ground.
This drive has already chewed more than 3 minutes off the clock. They'll come up on 2nd down now. Trying to get to the end zone. They'll run it left. And they'll be smothered right at the line for no gain. And the offense takes timeout to stop the clock with just 11 seconds remaining.
So it might be right.
So after he made it, you guys didn't have any
He moves the ball to the 1. 3rd down and goal. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. Motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Monarchs.
So much about speculation on whether or not they're going to kick a field goal or go for a touchdown. They put this ball into the end zone, and they put this game out of reach. What a job by this team and by this offense.
So that's, and I'm sure after you're seeing it, he was probably almost like the friendly kicks in, all that kind of stuff. But there had to have been one specific point, because that's a big move to see. Like, that's not, an actual dig.
What you mean, like?
It's like on his side, that where the blood was. That's a big move. We're saying, so we both know everything's been out on the table. We both know there's a right. Both know he's obviously bigger than you, stronger than you. We both know you had knives. We just need to pinpoint exactly when you got the wound on the side.
Now, wasn't alert enough to get the play off.
The problem happened was when we both had knives and we discovered the mirror. That's probably what happened.
It's evident from Bonita's demeanor that she's trying to control the narrative and feigns forgetfulness to avoid suspicion. Meanwhile, detectives uncover a shocking piece of evidence that is about to change the trajectory of the case. The autopsy reveals that the stab wound Kieran sustained matches the knife Bonita had used during the altercation, casting doubt on her account. With this information, the story is about to take a dramatic turn, highlighting a disturbing series of events that ultimately led to Kieran's tragic death.
And the head coach will decide to accept the
No, he
penalty
didn't say nothing.
and
He
take the
didn't say,
yardage.
"Oh, you stabbed me," or "I'm cut," or he didn't say nothing like that. And I never saw no blood until this moment.
What makes you think that happened when you guys got here? Just
Just because it was just a lot. It was a lot. I was covering pillows. He was falling.
Looks like he didn't get the snap
and
off
that's
in time. That'll cost him 5 yards.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Is there a chance that you stab him to get him off of you?
Pretty
To
easy
get
call
him
for the
away
head
from
coach.
you?
He
To
will
kind of
accept
like
that
de-escalate
penalty, of course.
this? Like, protect yourself at some point? Or, I mean...
If I'm going to say this. If I felt that way in that altercation, then that's what happened. But I don't remember that. And all I know is, like you just said, he's a man, and I want to defend myself.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. We're talking about two different things here, right? So we're talking about this happening because of other circumstances that were going on.
And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage.
I don't want to say it's unwarranted, but, something like this happening, this is not common. You know what I mean? Like, we handle these all the time. For us.
I don't remember everything. If there was a time where I was trying to get him off of me, then that possibly happened. Because we've been here before.
Didn't quite get the
check our
playoff
records
in time.
in jail
It'll be
for
delayed
witness
game.
Did it possibly happen? Or
so, right.
An easy call for the head coach. He will accept that penalty, of course.
For sure, I didn't just bluntly stab him. Okay? I know I had the knife for protection, but I did not bluntly just do anything to get him, to stop anything or to like, oh, you scared me, I'm gonna stab you. It's just
Looks
that,
like he didn't get the snap off in time. That'll cost him 5 yards.
Because I just wanted to get my hand to know that, you're not like,
yeah, you're not.
And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the
So
yardage.
at some point, we're tossing, do you ever feel that knife go in you? Or feel like any pressures in that knife? I mean, because you're going to remember that, whether you're drunk or not, you're going to remember that something like that happened. That's not something you don't remember. Like I remember being drunk, getting in park place, getting in a fight, been punched in the face. You remember that how drunk you are. Think about it hard. Listen, you're not. This is okay. Okay? It just doesn't make you that person. Never happened. Alright? I don't want you to think that.
Defense not pressing
I'm
this
just
time.
trying to get to the point that
On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball.
I know he jumped from and
Where you got
And it falls incomplete as the clock hits 0-0. That's it. Game over. Well, when you're a team that comes in, Kurt, with great expectations, big goals at the end, you're going to get tested. They were tested here today by another ranked team. I was impressed how they responded.
Chris, there's no doubt about it. I think the thing that really stood out to me is the way they played for 4 quarters, just dominating football. And this is a team that's had to deal with being kind of the hunted, the team that knows that every single week teams want to bring them down. They took on a very talented team today and just dominated.
And that's going to wrap it up. For Crum Street, I'm Chris Fowler. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
After that point, it's like, okay, right. So, within that window, it was just like, I was just fighting. And then that's when I could remember him saying that you did. So, I was bleeding.
You walked in the kitchen, get the bags. Where was he standing?
He was still right there. He was right there.
He was by the door right where we found him this morning, right?
Yeah, right there, but he was alive or whatever.
Yes,
and he was.
But when you came around that corner, when you were walking past that stove, he was standing by the door. What happened in that moment? Something happened in that moment because you're getting there. You want to say it, but I feel like you think.
I'm trying to use the exact. I'm trying to use the exact action.
Yeah, and that's what we need. So explain it, because I think there had been action. There's a blood splatter. That's where we're at. We make some believe that it didn't happen in the kitchen. So you got to take us to that moment. This is your time, okay?
I'm trying to remember. I really am.
And we want to help you out the best we can.
I don't know if he like jumped on me or I don't know, but we was tussling in that kitchen.
I think you're right there. You see him, he's standing by the door.
And I grabbed the bag and I went. That's when the crates and stuff was outside. Because his stuff was in a crate right there where my pantry is.
Listen, you've got beat up before, right? She's beat you before, right? So you were fed up. So you were listen, so you were fed up.
Yes.
That's understandable. Okay? So it happened beforehand. He's standing by the door. You have a knife in your hand. You already know he's fired up. You've already been into it. You're probably bleeding at this point. You're done. I think that ain't enough. Because whatever happened right there. And I think you just had enough of it. I think things boiled over. Not enough. No.
In August 2022, Kieran was arrested for domestic assault, reinforcing Bonita's claim that he was abusive. However, Bonita also alleges that despite being involved in a fatal altercation while she was intoxicated, she went to sleep peacefully after. This contradiction raises serious doubts, leading detectives to question the credibility of her account. However, the more Bonita attempts to avoid the questions, the more she unknowingly ends up revealing details that will ultimately seal her fate.
We had to have tussle and that happened. Because regardless of what me I'm going through, I'm not like, oh, I hate you or nothing like that, or I was just gonna try to drop it on the ground and make it leave like that. Nobody expected this to happen.
Whatever happened in that kitchen, wherever he's lying, is probably where this happened at. Because whatever happened was pretty traumatic. So I don't think it happened and then he bandaged you up and then he went upstairs and he laid down. I think whatever happened there, I don't think he left the kitchen. I don't think he ever left that spot by the door. It happened right there. So what we need is just you to kind of walk us through. You're right there. You're right there. And I know you're scared to say
But that's the thing, like nothing happened after that. That's literally what I remember. I remember him coming to me. It was blood everywhere. I was already bleeding.
Yeah.
So it was blood on his shirt, for me. So that altercation, it had to happen in that kitchen. And then he just...
You never left in the kitchen.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he never followed me upstairs.
So
I said, he was like, whatever, this is that. I remember hearing his voice before I went upstairs.
when you went upstairs, was he laid out? Was he on the ground? When you went upstairs? No. Where was he?
He was just downstairs.
Where?
In the living room.
There's no blood. That's the problem. Like, there was no trail of blood from the kitchen to the living room back to the kitchen. And he was bleeding a lot. So that, like...
Right, but that's the whole thing. It happened at like 1 or 2 in the morning. It's what time did I call you?
8:30.
Right. So, I mean, I watch a lot of movies and a lot of shit. Like, it wasn't a lot of blood.
We're not saying like, he's right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Still talking to you, but it's like, we're trying to fill in the blanks because there's a blank. You've told the story, and the last time you told the story was perfect. It was spot on, right there. Then we get to that point where something happened that was skipped over.
No, but I'm skipping over nothing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't.
I'm trying to get you to remember so it makes sense because there's a point to where he was stabbed and we're missing that. I think you know what happened. It's just I think you're just worried about.
I'm not worried about nothing. I'm a very honest person. I do not recall me literally stabbing him. I don't recall me just.
We're not saying you did it intentionally. Like I said, I was trying to explain. Then in situations before we got here, people just sometimes you just ain't taking it.
From when he going from getting up fast and then about to go get his stuff, it has to happen right then and there. I don't recall. I don't remember. You know, I'm probably because I'm still a little bit drunk, so probably when I sober up, it'll come back to me. But I just remember Keyron was very aggressive, and I just wasn't out here like
So we're not faulting you for that. But that doesn't make you a bad person. Give me 1 second. Okay, do you need another water or a snack or something? You want water? Alright, give me just 1 second. Right now. You use the restroom. Hey, real quick, use your camera can be accessed from your phone. Is that right? And you're just not really familiar how to do it. Alright, so what I'm going to have you do is I want you to read over this. Okay? This is another consent form. It's for your phone. Alright? Then this one is going to be for the actual DVR system that's in your house. I can get into that and watch that. Because that's going to help. I think that's going to help you quite.
Bonita's facade of innocence crumbles as soon as she realizes that the detectives are finally closing in on her. Although she tries to appear devastated by fake crying, what detectives uncover next only exposes her manipulative tendencies. Bonita's attempt to appear cooperative further digs her into trouble when the password she provides them to access her phone turns out to be incorrect.
So I want to go back to when a friend of yours told you that you cheated overseas. Like, how did that come about?
It was okay. Jackie around the corner who lied to him about for the last 2 years about the baby he had.
What baby?
Her name was Leah Fickle. She was in the last report with me for the domestic violence.
You guys have been trouble.
No. She was like, supposedly, she messing with this guy. His ex-wife supposedly told her that her and Keyron still don't care because Jackie always lying. But I can be petty. And I said it to him. I'm like, okay, eventually this is it. So we got into a little argument and we wasn't seeing eye to eye. So we wasn't talking.
What was that?
That was probably like 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay. So you approached it with a message. You asked him straight away.
No, it was a text message. It was like, I'm like, oh, you acting funny. You probably should, continue talking to the Judah cheat on me. And then that was the reason why we was not talking.
Okay. So there was like a period before this, like 2 or 3 days, we got like very little communication.
Yeah, we wasn't even talking like the whole day. Like when I went to go drop the key off to him, he was at his buddy Frank's house, and I went to my sister's house. We just wasn't talking.
He was still sleeping, right?
Huh?
He was still sleeping, like living with you.
Yeah.
You guys just were not communicating.
Yeah, it was just that one day.
So what? So yesterday, what was the boiling point? Like, did he get pissed off about it again, or what happened?
No, I'm telling you, he went to Frank's house. Uh-huh. I woke up to go get me a job and handle my business. When I came back, he was gone. He was at Frank's house, and I went to go drop the key off to him so he could get back in. And then I went to my sister's house.
Okay. And then when you got home, that's when things kind of blew up. Mm-hmm. Did he approach you first about it? Like, how did that argument start?
I believe when I got home, he had a situation because our agreement was we was going to be in the house by 12 o'clock.
Okay.
So when I got home, it was probably a little bit after 12. Okay. And he didn't like that, or he, had an issue with that.
What did he say?
I don't remember.
But so the whole initial play started because you just got home a couple minutes late, and he got pissed off about that. Who got physical first?
He got physical first because he didn't like me throwing stuff outside.
What did he do? Walk us through exactly what he did when he got physical. What was that like? And what did he do?
He just he shoved me, so I fell, and then he was just up in my face and stuff like that. So, I'm just fighting back at this point.
So you guys are fighting with each other. Then you grab a knife?
I go towards this thing or whatever, and that's the knife that don't have no handle on it. He, I didn't have no much, I didn't have it was gone. That was that. Then he was like, oh, you want to try to grab a knife? I'm get one too. And he grabbed a knife.
Bonita makes every effort to convince the detectives that she acted in self-defense and paints Kieran as the aggressor. However, the detectives don't seem ready to fall for her tricks. Her inconsistent statement about who held the knife first eventually makes her claims contradictory. Additionally, her claims about Kieran's affair are also undermined by his friends, who asserted that Kieran was loyal to Bonita, and he often had to ask her to go out with them. These statements only highlight Bonita's attention-seeking nature. What the detectives have uncovered so far is just a glimpse. It's that to life. When you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome to the home of the Florida Gators at Will Griffin Stadium, better known as the Slot. As we'll see the national champions from last year, the Florida International Panthers, taking on a squad hoping to prevent another win this week, the Florida Gators. 3A Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. From the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. He'll start the return inside the spot. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So FIU's offense will dial up the first ball plays in this one. And it was a collection of highlight reel plays time after time last week. He'd love to do that again, David.
Oh, there's no doubt. He showed you he's capable. He showed you the big play ability, and he can make those big plays for this offense. And I think the offense is going to continue to look for him. He is that guy outside that they can trust. Interesting to see, Jesse, the wrinkles off of the way they used him. And if he's going to continue to be the focal point of this offense.
I think he should continue to be the focal point, but I do think they have to move him around. You got to show some different looks, some different formations, get him in motion, stack releases, find him some access. Because there's no doubt this guy can run routes, he can catch the football, and he's dangerous after he has the football. So let's see some added wrinkles in what this offense and how they take the next step based on what he did last time.
Like his eyes, the veins coming out of his neck like anything. I've never seen that. And like I told him before, I'm like,
looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game.
So, is that what plays?
That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock.
So okay. And that's the stuff I need to know, right? I need to know that kind of stuff. This whole work this whole time, okay? I need to know how he got that. You need to be honest. Just told yourself, 90%. I need to know who's dancing around how this happens.
No, I'm not trying to dance around.
An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time.
So, I know that he got
offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. The Florida International offense is back on the field.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even fight. I'll probably look my face, or I'll wait, you know, this, or I'll wait like that. Get this too. But I was, you know, I was trying to actually unlock. We have to be in the kitchen. You gotta get in the kitchen.
They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game.
So it's not good. Delay of game.
So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. FIU gets it back, and the Panthers will send the offense back onto the field.
So that makes sense to me, because you're right, and his injuries and stuff. If you guys were face to face, that makes sense. How you perceive it. So I appreciate it. That makes a lot more sense than that makes sense.
The Panthers buried deep in their own territory, just trying to find breathing room on first down. Moving away from pressure. Going to try to get it himself. Across the 25. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
This guy just gives you he's just got so much electricity. He just pulls it down and chews up yards like it's nothing. It's a quarterback. A quarterback doing that to your defense.
Hand off from the gun. There he goes. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
There's nothing better than opening drive, coming out as an away team. Everybody's got all that excitement, all that energy, and being able to run the football and physically exert yourself to start a game.
How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? This crowd full throat, swinging the eardrums and letting him know it's going to be a long day. He's got him in the flat. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. The noise is deafening, trying to make sure only the Gators get out of the slump on third down. And takes five. Finds a man on the right. They've got it just outside the red zone. They'll move the chains. It's at the 21.
I love when QBs break the pocket and still look to attack. Because as soon as you break the pocket, I'm thinking, oh man, he's going to take off and run, and I might come up. But those big plays can be made down the field. Nice job by the quarterback, keeping his eyes down the field.
From the gun, running back on the move. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
I'm amazed by this offense. This is how you set the tone for a game. Running, throwing on the opening drive, driving right down the field. You just run to set yourself up now and first and goal. They are feeling it.
So I would assume he's probably safe. He's probably safe. good play defense. So the other thing, I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I actually thought I had my person.
The other thing that I want to talk about too.
Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game.
He's not going to be up.
The offense couldn't get the snap off in time, and it'll cost them.
Once he was hit, he fell. Right? Tell me what happened after that happened. You're telling me he made it go.
And the Panthers trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. And off from the shotgun. X going for the goal line. And you race it to the house. Touchdown, Panthers!
And they talked about it this week with us. They talked about wanting to start this football game fast. Nothing like taking the opening possession, using your script to your advantage, and then getting closer and exerting your physicality, running the football in, off to a hot start for this offense.
I don't recall where it happened. So when I keep on thinking it's up. In the living room. Just like up.
So what you do? Band-Aid for
He got the first aid kit. Said first aid kit for my hair roll.
Like right to the left of the knife.
Yes. So come in, the hair roll is that way, runs the room around. And then when you go here, make another knife, you do that, like on top of the frame. So yeah, go in. Turn.
Guys, FIU ready to go back to work on offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with a 7-0 lead. And he runs into a wall. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage. High the change now on 2nd and long. Running back searching for a hole. Turning it on. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease. He puts his foot in the ground. He gets north fast.
Sticks it in his belly.
Let's be honest, Reese. Like, the only time the fullback gets the football is usually in short yardage situations, and the defense was locked in. You got to try to get penetration with that defensive line. They did a good job of it. Nowhere to go with the football for the big fella.
Quickly to the tight end. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down. The Panthers will hustle to the line. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Trying to escape and get it himself. They stop him short, and we'll have a big 4th down coming.
Nice job by the defense getting after the QB. He's trying to scramble around. He's trying to go get that first with his legs, but he's not able to do it because of the speed on defense.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Converts on 4th down. Still going. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13. No hesitation, no trying to baby the ball in there. He just fired it complete.
4th down, no problem. I'm just going to rip this to my wide receiver. He believed in himself. He knew he could get it, and they get the 4th down conversion.
FIU set up with another 1st down. Give to the fullback. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That's the end of the quarter, and FIU is on top. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the 2nd quarter. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Give to the running back. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. They'll try the run. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down.
And obviously, this is one of the best offenses in the country, and it's because they get first downs. Top 10 in the nation picking up first downs. How nice is it to know you can turn around, hand it off to that guy right there, and let him go to work.
Power ahead. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
This is what you love to see from your red zone defense now. You're making the opponent go backwards. Really nice stop on the run, a TFL. Now you got a big second down. You're probably expecting the offense to throw with a little bit more room to work with.
Running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone. Look, it's still early, but we have some real distance being put on the scoreboard right now.
You do. It's early, but you got to find something positive. Right now, everything going in the other direction. So how are you going to respond when you've been hit in the mouth early in this football game? Got to find something positive quick.
At Pierce University, where the president there announced a $1 billion initiative to modernize the campus building facilities. And that included building this $400 million innovation center. They would have a data center on this campus. Yet,
the Florida International offense is back on the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
It's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out everybody right now on the same page.
Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place trying to help their defense. The give to the fullback. Look out, he's got room. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
Well, the fullback helping out his offense here, running the football. Nice job finding the hole and getting upfield. It takes a lot to bring this guy down.
Now 2 minutes before the half, they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. This crowd on hand trying to make sure the Gators don't back down on third down. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
This is one of the top 10 offenses in the nation in getting first downs. To do that, you gotta have bounce. Can't always throw for it on third down. You gotta be able to run it as well. And they've got a dude in the backfield who just knows how to move the chains.
Gets it out just short of the 20, out of bounds at the 19-yard line, and a little more room to operate. They've softened them up with a run. Now the thrower gets it out fast. And he's able to shed one tackle, but still just a very short gain. Like you're pushing tempo. Bully ball on third and short. He'll get a fresh set down, stopped at the 31-yard line. And the Panthers back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game.
So in order to put Dynasty on the campus, they have to get the football.
Wants to throw on first down. A little release to the middle. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Panthers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Wants to go up top. Still looking on the move. Finding an escape route. And this is why a mobile quarterback is a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare. He has just been running wild all day. To the air on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Well, it was a good throw. It was a good route, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
They're dealing with a second and long. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Plucks it out of the air. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. Finds his big tight end. Brings it to the open. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Panthers, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. The offense will quickly use a timeout. Just inside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 19. It's complete on the right side. Now the connection takes it to the 11. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Back to pass. It's complete. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Florida International. And they add 6 more.
Actually, the John Lewis Fellow for Policy and Activism at this when I was teaching a course that was entitled Climate Colonialism and Race. And when I had my syllabus, the president we met, and she asked,
FIU gets it back, and the Panthers will send the offense back onto the field. They'll start this drive going to the air. Got his man on the right. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Off the play fake on first down. He's in open space downfield. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work. Inside the 15, 1st and 10 from the 14. They'll power it inside with the fullback. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
And nice job on 2nd down. Maybe you're expecting a pass, but sticking the run in there, catching them off balance a little bit, getting a big gain, getting the 1st down.
On 1st and goal, let's see if FIU can get it in. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? Hand off to the fullback. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Panthers. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in week 6.
And you love giving it to the big boy right near the goal line, plowing ahead. You know he's going to put 2 hands on the football, lower his shoulder.
They say, oh, we don't have any more funding for your fellowship in particular. As I'm starting this course, as I have already done the syllabus, the reason I met with the president is I was trying to get funding to bring my students to climate work. As you know, because I think it's important for HBCUs to be present. Vanderbilt sent a delegation. That's why I was meeting with her, and she said, you know, what are your posts going to play? Like the Buddhist gay descent. And the fellowship was ended, and you know, the students have been there.
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. On the option. Oh, he's got a chance. He'll be forced out of bounds at the 28-yard line as this offense tries to mount a drive. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Now the play fake. Out across the 40 and forced out of bounds at the 42. And now this offense is clicking. They'll have to hustle if they want to get off another snap before the end of the period. Get it out to the supersonic guy. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period. We reached the break. It's FIU with the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. As we start the fourth quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. So the final period starts with a second down play. The give to the fullback. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Just shy of midfield at the 47. The defense needs a third down stop. Got his man. Oh, what a move. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with.
And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
There's been a little bit of a seesaw here the last two plays. Offense gets a chunk play, and then the defense gets a sack. Great job by the defense there, turning the page and coming up with the big one.
Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete.
Well, the ball's barely touched the ground every time this guy's been dropping back so far in this game. That's one of the rare misses we've seen from him so far.
Fires to the tight end. And an absolutely fearless tackle. Giving up size, still got him on the turf. On fourth down, he'll try to toss it. Outside the pocket, lets it go. Makes the grab past the marker. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8. And that big gainer on the last one has them threatening from inside the 10. And he is snuffed out, greeted by a host of defenders.
Really good job on the defense being disciplined. They sneak the running back out. You see it. Keep outside leverage and go make us tackle in space on a guy that's used to breaking tackles, used to making plays.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Using the quick game. And they get him, and they'll lose yardage on that completion. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now third and goal, and tough yardage to cover here. From the gun, wants to pass. Knocked down for the tackle. A long way to go on fourth and goal. Looking to throw. Lets it go to the end zone. Touchdown, FIU. Fitted in the window for the score. With that, they are closing in on bowl eligibility, but with this big lead and a 6-0 start, much bigger dreams for this squad.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a...
The Fisk administration about who they're partnering with and what are the ways that they're not going to fund it. Because none of that has been answered to this point.
Guys, FIU ready to go back to work on offense. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. Oh, he's got some space. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
And I think as a running back, if you're this guy, you're licking your chops right now. This is what you want, right? You've got a big lead in the fourth quarter, and you're smiling because you know you are going to get the rock. They're going to force-feed you the football to try and ice this game. He's paying him off right now. That's a really nice run.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Tight end now in motion.
This is something that they are already opposed to.
The give as they work on that clock. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. It's amazing how play by a defensive end in the backfield can really swing the momentum, not only of a series, but of a game sometimes.
All you're trying to do is create negative plays, to get them behind the sticks a little bit, to get those sacks, to get those tackles for losses. You see so much stunting in college football up front with the defensive line because you know once you get one of those plays, you got the offense right where you want it.
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on fourth down. Going for the marker on the ground. And we have breaking news. They score yet another.
Campus groups, these statements that they've shared on social media. And so
they reeled off 6 straight to start the season undefeated, bowl eligible, but when you have that kind of record, possibilities seem limitless.
What a great way to start the season. The best way possible, right? Like 6-0, taking care of business, building momentum. This squad continues to climb up the ranks. They're getting better. They're getting more respect. 6-0 is the best start you can have, but they're looking for more.
It's been really fun watching this team get up to this point. So much talent, great coaching. I feel like they could keep that 0 in the loss column all season long if they keep playing the way they did today.
That will put the wrap on things from here for David Pollock.
You got to put it in the email. Y'all told me it was an email, and I'm still doing it. So apparently, we had reached out to Fisk University and had not heard back. But 2 minutes ago, we got this email from Taylor Wilson, who is with Ben Partners. It says, Carol, hello. Thank you for reaching out to Fisk regarding the proposed Innovation Center as the Ronald